This is just a quick video on how I converted this old Dell laptop into a server. So I had this old Dell laptop. It used to be my mom's work laptop, and the battery gave out because the first thing I did before I did absolutely anything to it was I just replaced the battery. I'll insert some clips of me playing with that and like taking it apart and putting the new battery in. Okay, so I have this old laptop that I'm trying to convert into a server. So right now I just have to remove the battery and replace it with the brand new battery I got. Okay, I just replaced the battery. Fingers crossed that it works. Let's see. Before I put the case, well, let's see if that was the problem, because I did that to this Acer laptop and that was all that I needed. Let's see if did it work? Anytime I do, oh my God. I've been working on trying to convert this laptop and this Acer laptop into servers, so I don't have to pay $1,300 to have a server set up for me, like a professional, server. So we'll see. With this one, it looks like it's starting up. I'm scared to move it. It's not making sounds I like, so I'm gonna do its thing. Okay, this is what the screen looks like. It looks promising. Okay. I already, even before I might have done this backwards. Before I replaced the battery, it looks like the battery was all that it needed. And obviously it's old as fuck, so it's not getting like the latest updates of Windows and stuff. So after I replaced the battery, it obviously worked, it turned on. And after it turned on, what I did was I used this guy's resource. His name is Jonathan Builds on TikTok, I believe. I'll insert his profile here. I followed his steps. Just a word of caution. This is a great kind of jumping off point, but this is not a detailed step-by-step. So if you have a little bit of like, if you already have some knowledge of Homelabing and tinkering with old devices, this is a great resource. This is a great resource, right? This is a great resource. But if you're someone like me that had no prior coding experience, doesn't really know anything about technology, it's a great jumping off point, but you're gonna need a little bit more, and I did. And something that Jonathan did really well was he put like these Reddit groups that you can join, and if you have any questions, people respond. And I did that, and people were very helpful. So after following his like step-by-step guide, so I downloaded the server onto a USB drive, and then I booted the drive. I made it bootable. And then I ran into a couple of issues. So in theory, all you have to do is download the server onto this USB drive, boot the drive, and then when it's like booting, like the laptop is like booting up, install that bootable drive, and then it should like turn on. In theory. That's the first trouble I ran into. I couldn't make the drive bootable, and then I had to get another USB drive and try it again, and it worked. And after that, what was giving me issues after that, after the drive was installed and everything, like the server was up, I didn't realize, like, I don't know anything about servers, but I didn't realize that the server I had worked on at my previous job, it was like a Windows-based server, and it had like a remote access. It was like a remote access computer. That's kind of the way it was set up, and obviously it had like a desktop and everything. And so that's what I wanted. So this is what I had to do. Well, first I had to find the IP address, like my Wi-Fi address, which was a hassle. I connected it to my router through an Ethernet cable, which worked great, but then I needed it on Wi-Fi and it wasn't showing me the IP address, and I had to go find it, and I eventually found it. And then after that, I had to install some programming. I set up a Docker and a Pi-hole and then Nextcloud. And then after that, I wanted to be able to access the server from my new laptop or any other device and not need to use that server, right? So then I had to install this like insomnia mode, meaning like when I closed the laptop, it wouldn't like turn off, because you know the way laptops are set up, like as soon as you close it, like, they go to sleep, and I had to like disable that function. And after I downloaded all those things, I ended up downloading Termis, I think it's what it's called, to be able to access the server from another device if I wanted to like go to the terminal and stuff. And then after that, I installed Nextcloud, because that's what I was told was like the best way to like access it from my new laptop. And I had like a MacBook, and I like mapped it out on my MacBook, and I opened it, and I realized like it's just another folder on my MacBook, right? Although it's like on a network, it's just another folder. That's not what I wanted. I wanted like it to like open into like a new screen, and like I have to like put my login information. Like I wanted that. And so then I had to run a program on the server, basically kind of giving it a face. Yeah, basically I had to set up this like remote PC thing. And so then finally I was able to like put in my login. After I installed that, I put in my login information for my server, and it popped up with like a desktop and all the things like any other computer, you know? So I did that. No lie, this took me 2 weeks. Easy. Because I would like tinker with it for a little bit, then I'd have to like go do homework or go to work or be an adult. And so I couldn't just sit down and figure all these out. It was literally, I'd accomplished one thing, realize I needed to install a different software or another program for it to run. And I was like, well, I can't dedicate another 2 hours to this. So I would like put it down, get back to it in like a couple days. So yeah, easily this project took me 2 weeks. I'm not saying this is going to take you 2 weeks. I'm just saying with my busy schedule and everything I had going on, it took me 2 weeks. But moral of the story is I did it, and you can do it too. I literally started with TikTok, Reddit, an old laptop, and a dream. And I got it like it did. Okay. And I was able to do it. I got it done. And so it's under my desk over there. It's still on. I accessed it earlier today. So let's see if I can show you. I got this new laptop. It's like a gaming laptop, because I'm going to do a lot of like video editing, because I'm going to be consistent this year on YouTube. Yes, I am. But my old laptop, like my old MacBook and my iMac, they were old. They were like 10 plus years old. My iMac is from 2017 and my MacBook is from 2021, which isn't old. It's still great. It's just, it doesn't have the RAM and the storage that I need to process video. I literally, everything I did to access that server, I did it on my Mac first, right? And I got it. It was working. I downloaded DaVinci Resolve. I tried to edit one video. My MacBook started beatboxing and heating up and not not working. So even though I'm able to access it from my Mac, I can't really use it. My Mac can't handle video editing. So I was doing all of this to avoid having to pay like a bunch of money to get like a server set up, because I reached out to like this local company that does it. Like they're the ones that did like my old job's server, and they maintain it and stuff. And they were quoting me $1,300, which I get it. They are worth it. They are worth that price tag. I cannot afford that right now. But I could afford like $70 worth of batteries and replace them myself based off like YouTube videos I saw and the processing manual I found on Dell's website. But it was just time for what I'm trying to accomplish. I had to invest in a laptop, so I got this one for like $900. This is like on the cheaper end for like gaming laptops, because I saw some for easily $1,400, easily, right? It's called an Asus, ASUS. Let's turn her on. The thing I do like about it, one, I don't like that it's not girly, but I get it. Like, I understand the market for this, and I'm probably not the target audience for this. Aesthetics wise, specs wise, yes, this is what I need. Aesthetics, I'm gonna make this girly. I'm gonna put girly stickers on it and stuff. But I do like the keyboard. I like that. That's unisex. Okay, so I'm gonna try to log in. I was able to log in today and I finished editing a video today, so don't fail me now. You're gonna embarrass me in front of my people? Let me not. And this is my server. I customized the desktop to be like 2 women's hands, like fanning some money, because this year is all about abundance. And so every time I look at this, I gotta lock in. And the cool thing about this server is I mounted an external hard drive. I have an external hard drive that has like 2 terabytes on it. And so I mounted it onto the server. It's plugged into that desktop. Sorry, it's plugged into that laptop over there with this, which is hosting the server, right? And so I used this program, RAI Drive Mount, to be able to access the contents of that external drive for whenever I'm editing. And so even though it lives on the server, if I go here in my file folder on this PC, I have like what's actually on this computer, and then I can access my files from the server right here on my laptop, and it's not taking up space on my laptop. It's like through the internet, like a OneDrive. So it's all free. I did it all by myself. Something like this, mind you, I used free services. I've made like 4 accounts on 4 different sites for different reasons, to be able to access the server and edit in the server, and just to access it in different ways. And it cost me 2 weeks of my time, give or take. $70 for the batteries, my labor of replacing those batteries and figuring all this out on my own, which of course, like, a professional quoted me $1,300 because they're doing all of this from scratch. I kind of took a few shortcuts because I don't know any coding scripts or any of like that. I don't have any coding knowledge or any background in this. This is my first time doing this. And I literally just went on Reddit, Google. I asked Google Gemini. I don't use ChatGPT, but I use Google Gemini sometimes. A few questions when I was really, really stuck, and people were just answering me on Reddit in Chinese, which is not bad. I just don't speak Chinese, so it didn't serve me. And even like translating it, it would get like lost in translation. But yeah, I did it. Like, this is so exciting. I can't show you guys how. I can't provide a tutorial because I technically don't really know what I did. I just wanted to access my footage. I wanted to host it here locally. I needed a VPN, and every step of the way, I literally just asked somebody what I had to do to accomplish this next step. And now my server is up and running, and I have a server that I didn't pay for, that I did all by myself, and it's being hosted on an old laptop. I wanted to make this video more so to kind of show other women that, and I know women know this about themselves, like we can do anything we put our minds to it. But honestly, the reason I didn't even attempt this wasn't my first thought. My first thought was like going to get a professional, to hire a professional to do like set up my server, was because I didn't think I could. I really didn't. I thought like all I was really capable of was like video editing, because I went to school for that and I learned how to do that. I learned how to do basic editing. But anything that has to do with like anything that's a little more technological or more complex, or like anything that's to do with like computer science, I was always kind of told like it was just, I don't know. I think I subscribed to the idea, and I drank that Kool-Aid that women just aren't capable or aren't smart enough to do stuff like this, to home lab and be in computer sciences. And I didn't, it's not I didn't think I was smart enough. I was just like, oh, well, that's for boys, and like maybe I can't. But this, I just showed myself that I can. And I did it all by myself, kind of just figuring it out, because I had the desire to figure it out. And anytime I got stuck, I didn't let myself stay stuck. So I wanted to come on here and kind of just motivate other women to try home labbing, because that's my next step. So I was able to figure this out with this old laptop. My next step is building another home lab. I want to build a new server from scratch, not just from an old laptop, but getting all of the different pieces to build one of these cute little like home lab decks. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. This has been so much fun, and also like really rewarding, being able to set my mind to do something and then accomplishing it and having it work for me and my business, and be able to help me be consistent with my journey here on YouTube. If you have any questions about my process, or what exact Reddit groups I joined, I'm not a Reddit expert, and I don't spend any time on there. I literally would just go on there, ask a question, and then leave. But I would love to have a dialogue, So if you have any questions, comment them below, and I will see you next time. Bye.